Hello and welcome to another episode of Sophia Wisdom. I received an email from someone recently who asked me to talk about a particular topic, so I'm going to go ahead and address that one today. And what he asked is about Jesus Christ and whether Jesus Christ is and was the person that he thinks that he was. So he was raised in the Christian tradition and was taught that Jesus died on the cross for our sins. And he said that he was having some struggles because he'd been doing some research and he's come to doubt that. And so what he'd like to know is really who Jesus was. So my intent in doing this is really to help allay some of his concerns, because I know lots of people think about this topic. And I was raised a Christian myself in the Catholic Church and had a somewhat, I did have a relationship with Jesus, but certainly mine was far more with Mary in the Catholic Church. But I consider Jesus to be one of my primary guides, and so I feel like I have a very strong connection with his energy. As far as what history tells us, I'm not sure about, and I'd like to hear myself what Sophia has to say about this. So again, what I do here on this show is I meld with this energy called Divine Sophia, and it is she who is my primary guide. She calls herself the Mother of Humanity and the partner to God the Father, the creative partner to God the Father. And this meld, this kind of thing that sort of takes over is where I just allow her to communicate through me. And so I'm going to do that today. And the way this begins is just as always, is the energy comes through and it seems to shoot through my hands a whole lot. And it looks like one of my reconnective healing sessions. And so what you can do is just close your eyes, if you would, and try to feel what this energy is like, because really that's more what this energy is about. I'm not so sure it's even so much about the words as it is about the feelings that come from the process. Certainly for me that's the case. And so, Sophia, thank you for being with us again today. This is a question that came from an email that I received from someone who's been watching the show. And what he would like to know is, who was Jesus Christ? And if you would speak about this with the understanding that my intention is to offend no one with this show, for I consider him to be one of my greatest guides, one of my most profound teachers, and the one who came to me initially, no surprise there, when I was so ill. And here we go. Children, this is truly a delight to be able to speak with you on this subject, for we are family with the Christ energy. So many of you on the planet resonate with the being that was Jesus. Nothing that I will say here today should interfere with that in any way. Jesus is and was a great master. And you see, this was the beauty of him. He understood and knew who he was. He remembered who he was. And with his strong connection to God the Father, he was able to do incredible things. And it was not him who created these healings, who touched people so deeply, purely from his own essence, but rather it was creatively together with the Father that he was able to do this. One needed the other. His life was one of great sacrifice. You can be assured of that. He did much of what he did by denying, if you will, his own needs. Now, you must understand that this was not from simply a place of service that he did this, although that was there. What the Christ felt was this deep, deep-seated connection to the Father and desire to do the work of the Father. So, in many ways, from the outside, it would appear as if his life was one of sacrifice. But it is not that he felt that way, for I can assure you that he did not. He has become, in the past 2,000 years, a great teacher for you. He is the one that so many of you pray to when you are in need, and you should continue to do this, for when you pray to Jesus, you are in effect praying to the Father, to the Mother, to God. We are all connected after all. If what you benefit from is a relationship with Jesus that brings you into a church building, there is nothing wrong with that. Find your connection, find your comfort, find some release and relief there. Truly, your experiences in the religious sector have more to do with you than they do with the organizations themselves. Check your feelings. How is it that you feel when you are in your church? Does it bring you solace? Does it bring you joy? If these are the feelings that are stirred with your connection with the Christ, there can be nothing wrong with those. Even today, his impact continues to be felt across the world. He is similar to the energies of other great masters that you are aware of in your other cultures, yes? We are speaking of the Buddha. We are speaking of Mohammed. All of these great teachers that are known, Confucius, another. These are examples for you of beings in human form who were able to effect great change simply through the power of their own beingness. One individual, yes, that you can look at within your histories and know that they affected the masses. Now, what I will say to you is that you have this power within yourself. You see, there is a wise one who is doing great work across the world, who speaks about the 6 phrases. And he says, what you must know, or what you must see, is that you are a master. This is true for each and every one of you. Your purpose here is to awaken to who you are. And if the Christ energy can help you to do that, then what a wonderful thing that is. Find your inspiration wherever it is that you can achieve that. The primary feeling that was paramount in the Christ is this feeling of knowingness, of trust, of peace with his mission. And it was a mission at great cost to himself personally and with great impact on his family and friends around him. He did things that took enormous courage. And yes, this is where his own human side came into the picture, for nobody walked in his shoes. He did these things himself.